Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to set up our gig service. And as you know, most of the things we are going to need, we already set them up. We are going to copy the files that we need. And then also up to some configurations inside the source folders, we will copy them, maybe like the database file, the Elasticsearch, the routes, the server, the config, the app.ts, okay? So in order to save time, okay, I will just copy and paste. I believe at this point, we already created 3.5 services. So you should already be familiar with what all of these files do. Okay, I believe you should be able to set them up yourself at this point in time. Okay, so don't be alarmed if you see me just copying and pasting, because we've already done them before. And just I don't want to repeat it by just typing them from scratch again. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our service. So server, I'll call this 5, and then this is going to be gig-service. Okay, so this is just the order I want my services to be. That is why I appended these numbers to the files or to the folders. Okay, so this is just the order I want. Now let me open this in the terminal. Okay, and then I'll run npm init-y to initialize this init-y. Okay, so now I have this. Now go ahead, as usual, let's copy from our auth service. So I'll copy all of this from docker ignore to jest config. Okay, so copy all that, paste them right here. For the .env file, I think everything will remain the same except our database URL. We are still using MongoDB. So for the database URL in your .env file, just change the database to Jobber Gig. Just change the database name, okay? And I think every other thing will remain the same. We are adding Redis, RabbitMQ, API gateway, okay? So that's for the .env. And then ESLint and npm RC, everything will remain the same. For the Docker file, we'll change the port. So this will run on port 4004, okay? And then here as well, it will run on port 4004, okay? And then in the jest.config.ts, I will make a change. Here where you have the module name mapper, I will change this to gig. Okay, so I will just change this to gig. I've not installed the types. Okay, so we have that. Let me copy the ts config. Okay, so you can copy the ts config as well from your user service. Paste right here, and let's make the change. I will change the paths here to gig. Okay, so that when we import, it's going to have gig appended. Okay, so now we have this path. Let me add my source, src. Now before we add anything to the source, make sure you install the packages. Now you still have the packages that we've listed in the last 2 sections or 3 sections. Go ahead and install all those packages, the same packages we installed in our user service. Okay, so most of these packages, I think we need. So just go to your user service. I think we need all of this, even up to Cloudinary. Okay, so go ahead and install all of these packages we have in our user service. Okay, as well as the dev dependencies. Okay, the packages in the dev dependencies section. Okay, so I would not show you. Just go ahead and install all of this. Okay, so if you have it, if you have the latest versions, then all you can do is just copy them and then add it to your package JSON in the gig service. Okay, and then you run npm install command, and then I'm going to copy the scripts. So copy scripts right here. Okay, so copy the scripts command and then add it to the package JSON right here. And then I'll change this to app, and I'll call this Jobber-gig. Okay, now you can see that some of the things we just are not typing them ourselves. We just copy and paste. Okay, so I on my own, once I end this video, I'm going to install the necessary packages, the same packages we have in the users service. Now, since we've added the .env, go ahead and add it or you can copy the one from your source user service, copy the config file. Okay, so copy the config and then paste in your source. Okay, so copy and paste. I think everything here will remain the same. Yeah, I have this error because I have not installed these libraries. Okay, and let's see what else we need to copy. And let's see the database. I think I will need this database. So copy the database file. Just copy the database file because we are still using the same MongoDB. Okay, so copy the database file, and then here I'll change this to gig service. And then this config that is imported, I'll change this to gig. Okay, don't worry about all of this. Once, for me at least, once I install the packages, all of this error should disappear. Okay, and then what else do I need? At this point in time, I can copy the Elasticsearch. Okay, so copy Elasticsearch file, paste here as well in your gig service. Okay, and then I'll make the necessary changes. This will be gig, and I'll call this gig Elasticsearch server, and then here I'll change this to gig service. Okay, so I'll change this to gig service. Okay, the reason why I have all these errors, I have not installed the packages. Okay, and let's see what we will need. Probably at this point in time we can stop here so that I'll install all of the packages. In the next video we'll continue with the setup.